Hey kids, I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to discuss another important topic for revision for your NEET exam, the stem modifications which you have learned in your morphology of flowering plants chapter from your class 11th portion, right? So we know that a plant consists of three types of stem. We know that there is aerial stem, right, which is on the surface. There is a stem that is partially above the ground, very close to the ground. We call it as the subaerial stem, right? And the stem that is under the ground, the part of the stem before the root system begins, the part of the stem that is under the ground, we call it as the underground stem, right? So for the plant to perform its different growth and developmental activities, it modifies its stem for storage, for reproduction, etc. Right? So let's understand the stem modification first. Ma'am is going to give you some small tips, simple tips or tricks, whatever you call it, to remember these terms, right? Sometimes it gets confusing, right? So first let's look at the underground stem modifications. Underground stem modifications. What are the different types of underground stem modification? Then we will see the subaerial stem modification and the aerial stem modifications, right? So let's try some easy ways to remember this so that you won't get confused during your exam, right? So the underground stem gets modified mainly for food storage. The first one is the rhizome, right, and comb. Third one is the bulb. Fourth one is the tuber, right? Example of each of this: rhizome example is ginger, turmeric. All of this is underground stem which is horizontally growing for food storage. Comb example is banana. Again, we are sticking only to NCERT. For NEET exam, stick to your NCERT examples, right? And bulb example is onion. The underground stem gets modified, giving rise to fleshy scale leaves, right? And tuber example is potato or your aloo, right? Potato has those eyes on the potato, right? Which are nothing but the axillary buds that can give rise to the new plant. So rhizome, comb, bulb, tuber, right? RCBT. Something comes into your mind when you hear this RCBT. The IPL fans will immediately tell me, right? That Royal Challengers Bangalore team, RCBT, rhizome, comb, bulb, tuber, a team that is always underground. RCB fans, no offense, okay? Always underground, never wins any trophies. So let's call it as RCBT, rhizome, comb, bulb, tuber, example of underground stem modification, right? RCB team who never wins any trophies, a team that is always under the ground. Let's hope that they will have a bright future soon, right? Now the next one is the subaerial stem modification. What are the types of subaerial stem modification? Another easy way which ma'am will give you, that is the runner, right? Is, right? Runner, offset, sucker, and stolon. Runner, offset, sucker, stolon. Now, how can we remember this tip also ma'am will be giving you? Before that, let's write down the example. Runner example, grasses. How the grasses run on the ground, isn't it? By extending alongside their internodal region, and they form adventitious roots at each nodes and form the new shoot from there. That's how they are able to spread on the ground surface, right? And offset example, echinoria. It is specially seen in aquatic plants. Echinoria, piscia, all these are examples of, offset. You can write echinoria, water hyacinth, or pistia. Both examples are correct, right? For offset, yes. And sucker example, sucker is nothing but an underground runner, right? You cannot see the expansion of alongside the internodal region on the surface at all. It is running under the ground, as you can see in mint, right? The next one, last one, is stolon, where it is forming an arch. We call it as an arch runner, like as you can see in jasmine or strawberry. Both are good examples of subaerial stem modification. That is, Runner, offset, sucker, stolon. ROSS. 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 That is runner, offset, stolen, sucker. Now, if you have watched this Friends TV show, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Friends. It's a world famous sitcom, right? Yes. So, if you have watched Friends, you know there is a character called as Rose in that, right? If you have not watched, you go and read about him. Okay, so he is a person who is highly unstable, right? He is always confused, like he doesn't know whether he should, he should tell Rachel he loves her or not, right? Or he is confused whether he should get married or not. For everything in life, he's a paleontologist, but he's confused everything. Highly unstable person, just like the subaerial stem, right? Unstable person. Subaerial stem, not on top, neither on top, neither, neither, right? Not on top, not down. Partially above the ground, very close to the basal part of the stem, right? So, subaerial stem modification example is like the unstable Ross from Friends TV show. That is runner, offset, sucker, stolon. I hope you will remember this. Now, the next one is quite interesting, okay? Aerial stem modifications, what we are going to write. Aerial stem is the stem shoot of the plant that we can see on the surface, right? Aerial stem modifications, what are the very simple aerial stem modification? That is phylloclad, right? Phylloclad, cladophyll, right? And thorn, tendril, all these are stem modification, right? Ignore my writing because you might find it a little messy. Thorn, tendril. Fifth one is, the bulbils of agave, right? Yes, so phylloclad, cladophyll, thorns, tendrils, bulbil of agave, all these are examples of our aerial stem modifications. Examples you already know, phylloclad example, cladophyll example, thorns you can see in citrus, right? All the citrus fruits, tendrils of, pea, right? Beans, all the legumes, and bulbil of agave, all these are important examples, right, children? And phylloclad you can see in these asparagus and all these plants, right? So PCTTB, ma'am is only giving you the tricks to remember is PCTTB. PCTTB, that is aerial stem modifications, that is phylloclad, cladophyll, cladode, thorn, tendril, and bulbil, the different modes in which the stem gets modified. Aerial stem gets modified for storage and for mechanical support purpose of the plant, not for storage, mainly for its, carrying out photosynthesis or for carrying out, its mechanical climbing on another surfaces, right? So PCTTB, so how can we remember this? Priyanka Chopra, PC, and table tennis. Priyanka Chopra played table tennis with Big B. Big B is Amitabh Bachchan, right? So bulbil. So PCTTB. Priyanka Chopra played table tennis with Bachchan, but their clothes go dirty, right? So they washed it in aerial detergent, right? Example of aerial stem modification, PCTTB. Priyanka Chopra played table tennis with Big B, and their clothes got dirty, so they washed it in aerial detergent. Aerial stem modification, PCTTB. I hope you are finding these tips easy. Ma'am is not going into the depth of anything. I'm not going to explain you anything in depth, just for your easy way to remember these so that you don't get confused in the exam hall. And also remember, learning the examples are very, very easy, right? So RCBT, ROS, and PCTTB. Okay. Examples of stem modifications: underground, subaerial, and aerial stem modification. I hope you found this video useful. If you understood everything and if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share this knowledge with your friends as well. Thank you so much, children. I will see you all soon with another video. Bye-bye.